In a small village between baobab trees and the savannah lived a girl named Bimma, whose laughter once rang like harvest drums. She lived with her mother, Amma, in a mud brick house after her father was taken by river spirits. "Mama, why do fireflies dance at night?" young Bimma asked under the starlit sky. Amma smiled, braiding her daughter's hair. "Those are ancestors watching over us. When we leave this world, we become stars, forever protecting those we love." Bimma treasured only a clay doll her father had made. She wore the same faded wrapper daily, with uncomfortable wooden sandals carved by her mother from iroko bark. They made her feet ache, but they were all she had. One day, everything changed, and the change would cost Bimma more than she imagined. Amma fell ill with fever burning hotter than midday sun. Desperate, Bimma set out to find the medicine woman. Her journey took her past the crossroads, where the living world meets the spirit realm. There, gleaming impossibly bright, sat a pair of shoes. Deep crimson red, adorned with glass beads catching light like miniature suns. The leather was soft as newborn skin, pulsing with life. Bimma's breath caught. She had never seen anything so beautiful. Before she could stop herself, she grabbed them. "Mama, look!" Bimma burst home, forgetting the medicine woman's herbs. "I found these at the crossroads." Amma's fevered eyes widened with horror. "No, Bimma. Take them back. Shoes at the crossroads belong to spirits or the dead." "You cannot," she coughed violently. "Promise me you will never wear those red shoes," Amma pleaded, gripping her daughter's wrist. Through tears, Bimma nodded. "I promise, Mama." She hid them under their mat, but traced their surface every night. The rains came and went. One morning, Bimma woke to wrong silence pressing against her chest like stone. "Mama?" Her voice was small. She searched everywhere, the cooking area, the garden, under the mango tree. But Amma was nowhere. Then Bimma looked up at the morning sky where one star still shone bright even as sun rose, and she understood. Her mother had become one with the ancestors. Village women came to prepare the body, wrapping Amma in white cloth, singing songs of passage. The funeral would be held the next day, with everyone dressed in white and black to honor the dead. That night alone, Bimma pulled the red shoes from beneath the mat. They seemed to glow in moonlight. "Mama loved me. She would want me to look beautiful," she whispered. "She wouldn't," a voice inside warned. "You promised." But grief makes us do strange things. The next morning, dressed in white, Bimma slipped her feet into the red shoes. They fit perfectly, too perfectly. The funeral procession moved slowly through the village, drummers beating farewell rhythms. Mourners wailed and sang. But their songs faltered when they saw Bimma's feet. Red shoes. At a funeral, an elderly woman hissed. "Has the child no respect for her own mother?" Whispers spread like wildfire. Even drummers missed their beats. But Bimma didn't care. The shoes made her feel powerful, beautiful, special. An old woman named Mama Kimi watched from beneath a baobab. A wealthy palm oil trader with no children, she wore beautiful indigo cloth and coral beads. Her face was kind, eyes sharp, they missed nothing. After burial, as mourners departed, Mama Kimi approached Bimma. "Little one, you have nowhere to go now, do you?" Bimma shook her head, tears streaming. "Come with me. I will give you a home, fine clothes, education, everything your mother would have wanted. Driven by grief and gratitude, Bimma left her mother's compound for Mama Kimi's big house. But she refused to remove the red shoes until finally persuaded, and Mama Kimi threw them into the rubbish heap. Seasons turned. Bimma grew from girl to young woman, her beauty blooming like hibiscus. But her stubbornness grew too, like choking weeds. Mama Kimi showered her with gifts, beautiful cloth, gold jewelry, leather sandals, education. But nothing was enough. I don't want this blue wrapper. I want red. Bimma threw expensive cloth on the floor. I don't want jollof rice. Make me fried plantain instead. Right now. Mama Kimi's heart broke daily. She had given everything, yet received only demands and disrespect. But she remembered the lonely little girl and persevered. When Bimma was 17, Mama Kimi took her to market for new clothes. There, Bimma's eyes locked onto shoes that made her heart stop. Red shoes, glowing with inner fire, beaded with shifting patterns. Almost identical to the Crossroads shoes. Those. I must have those. Bimma demanded. No. You need practical black shoes. The village chief's wife died, we must attend the funeral. I don't care. Buy them or I'll walk barefoot everywhere. Exhausted, Mama Kimi bought both the black shoes and the red ones with her last savings, just to buy peace. The funeral day arrived with dark clouds gathering, a bad sign. Put on your black shoes, Mama Kimi called. But Bimma looked at the sensible black shoes, then at her magnificent red ones. You are beautiful in us, they seemed to whisper. She slipped them on. She hid them under her wrapper, but at the funeral ground, the fabric shifted. The red shoes blazed bright as blood against mourners' somber clothes. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Red shoes. To the chief's wife's funeral. Mama Kimi's face went ashen. You disobeyed me again. Then a voice cut through murmurs. But what magnificent shoes! A handsome young man stepped forward, Chief Adebayo's son, Kofi, returned from university. I am hosting a celebration tonight. You must come. Bimma's heart soared. Finally, appreciation. In joy, she began to dance, a little skip, a twirl. But her feet didn't stop. I can't stop. Bimma's voice rose in panic. Mama Kimi, help me. The cursed shoes danced her away from the funeral, spinning and leaping down the road while everyone watched in horror. The red shoes danced Bimma through the night without mercy. Up the mountain where baobab trees grew twisted and ancient. Through thorny bushes tearing her wrapper. Across streams where she stumbled and fell, only to be jerked upright again. Every muscle screamed. Her throat was raw from crying. Blisters formed, but still they danced. Please stop. I'll be good. I'll be humble, she sobbed. But the shoes didn't listen. They spun her as the sun rose on the first day. On the second day, hunger gnawed at her. She tried grabbing fruits as she spun past, but moved too fast. Her lips cracked and bled. Her hair came loose and wild. On the third day, Bimma could barely see. Her eyes were swollen, her body weak. In delirium, she saw her mother. Amma stood shimmering like starlight. Only you can break this curse. You must truly give up the stubbornness, pride, and selfishness that have ruled you. I give it up. Bimma screamed. All of it. I just want to be good. To honor Mama Kimi. She fell to her knees. Take my stubbornness. Take my pride. I give up everything. The shoes suddenly loosened and slipped off her bleeding feet. They danced away alone, spinning across the mountaintop, until they reached the cliff's edge, and danced right off it. Bimma collapsed, free at last. Bimma didn't know how long she lay on the mountaintop. When dawn came, she forced herself to sit up. Her feet were blooded, swollen, covered in cuts. Her wrapper was rags. She looked nothing like the proud girl who had danced away 3 days ago. She looked broken, humbled, human. Using a branch as walking stick, Bimma began the agonizing journey down. Each step was torture, but she continued. This is my penance. It took the entire day. As sun set, 4 days since the funeral, she finally saw Mama Kimi's compound. What if she won't take me back? But she kept walking. Approaching the gate, she saw a figure beneath the mango tree. That indigo cloth, those gentle shoulders. Mama Kimi. Bimma's voice was hoarse. The old woman's head snapped up. Then she was running, arms outstretched. Bimma. My child. They collided in an embrace that felt like coming home. I'm sorry, Bimma sobbed. For everything. For my stubbornness, disrespect, taking your love for granted. I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm begging for it. Mama Kimi cupped her face. I never stopped loving you. Come, let's tend those wounds. Let's bring you home. The red shoes were gone, but Bimma had gained something far more valuable. Weeks passed. Under Mama Kimi's care, Bimma's wounds healed. The cuts faded into scars, permanent reminders of stubbornness's price. But something deeper had changed. She woke early to help Mama Kimi. She washed clothes, swept the compound, tended the garden with gratitude. She had learned that true beauty lies not in red shoes or fine clothes, but in how we treat those who love us. One afternoon, Bimma heard voices at the gate. Mama Kimi was speaking with someone familiar. Is Bimma here? It was Kofi. Bimma's hands went to her simply braided hair. She wore a plain wrapper, her feet bare and scarred. She looked nothing like the proud beauty in red shoes. Part of her wanted to hide. But hadn't the mountain taught her that running from truth only leads to dancing with lies? She walked to the gate, head held high with quiet dignity. Bimma. Kofi's tired face flooded with relief. I've been searching for you for weeks. I feared the worst. Why search for me? I was disrespectful. I brought shame. Kofi smiled. I've heard the gossip about the proud girl, the cursed dance, the 3 days on the mountain. And about the girl who came down changed. What is rare is a person who can face their darkness and choose to change. That requires true courage. I am not the same girl, Bimma said. The proud, stubborn Bimma died on that mountain. I have scars now, on my feet and in my heart. Perfect is boring, Kofi said. I want real. I want someone who understands that life is not about dancing in red shoes to impress others, but about walking in bare feet beside those who matter. Mama Kimi's voice rang out with laughter. Are you going to invite this young man in, Bimma? For the first time in forever, Bimma laughed genuinely. Come in. Come meet the woman who saved me when I didn't deserve saving. Come share our simple meal. If you still want to know me after seeing how ordinary my life is now, then perhaps we can talk about tomorrow. Kofi stepped through the gate, and a warm breeze blew through the compound, carrying the scent of rain and new beginnings. Somewhere in the spirit world, Amma smiled down at her daughter, her light shining brighter among the stars. The red shoes lay at the bottom of a cliff, their curse broken, their dance finally ended. 6 months later, when rains had blessed the earth and crops grew green, the village gathered for a wedding. Kofi, son of the late Chief Adebayo, was marrying Bimma, the girl who had danced with cursed shoes and lived to tell the tale. The whole village came. Having watched Bimma's transformation, pride turned to humility, stubbornness turned to grace. Under the ancient baobab tree, Bimma stood in beautiful white wrapper embroidered with gold, Mama Kimi's gift. On her feet were simple leather sandals. No beads. No sparkle. Nothing red. The village elder, who had once whispered in disgust, now blessed them with kind eyes. Marriage is not about looking beautiful for one day. It is about the daily choice to honor, to serve, to humble yourself before the one you love. It is about removing the shoes that make you dance alone and learning to walk together. Kofi took Bimma's hands. I promise to love you not for who you were, but for who you chose to become. Bimma's vows were simple. I promise to never again let pride make me dance alone. I promise to walk beside you. And I promise to honor the love given freely by giving love freely to others. The drums played joyfully. The village women sang. And when dancing began, Bimma and Kofi moved together, their steps simple and unhurried. As the celebration continued under the setting sun, an old woman approached. She wore travel-worn clothes and leaned on a walking stick. Bimma immediately left the dancing. Grandmother, welcome. Come, sit. Let me bring you food and water. The old woman's eyes twinkled. You don't remember me, child. Bimma looked closer and suddenly saw it, the woman from the crossroads, all those years ago. The woman whose red shoes had cursed and ultimately saved her. It was you, Bimma whispered. The shoes belonged to you. They did. I was once like you, proud, stubborn, unwilling to listen. The shoes cursed me and I danced myself to death. But the ancestors gave me a choice, to rest among stars or return as a spirit guide, placing those shoes where they could teach the lesson I learned too late. The old woman touched Bimma's scarred feet. These scars are your true treasure. They are proof you survived, learned, and changed. Why are you here now? Because my task is complete. You were the last one, the one who would finally break the curse entirely. You understood that you were trying to fill the emptiness your mother's death left with things that could never satisfy. The woman began to fade. My name was Kunto. Remember it. Tell your children about the girl who wore red shoes and learned that true beauty is not in what adorns your feet, but in where those feet choose to walk. She vanished completely. A moment later, a new star appeared in the sky beside another Bimma knew was her mother. As the night grew late and guests departed with blessings for many children and long life, Mama Kimi pulled Bimma aside. "My daughter," she said, and Bimma noticed she said, "Daughter, not child, I have something for you." She pressed a small wrapped bundle into Bimma's hands. Inside were simple sandals made from the softest leather, dyed gentle brown like earth after rain. "These are not cursed. These are made with love. Made for walking long distances, for standing beside your husband through whatever comes, for running after the children you will have. They are not red, they are not fancy, but they are real. And they are yours." Bimma hugged the old woman tightly, breathing in the familiar scent of shea butter and palm oil. "Thank you, Mama. For everything. For not giving up on me even when I gave you every reason to. That's what love does. It doesn't give up. It waits. It hopes. It endures. Just like your mother's love endured, even after she became a star." That night, as Bimma and Kofi walked to their modest new home, a house Kofi had built with his own hands, Bimma looked up at the sky. 2 stars shone particularly bright, pulsing with light as if sending a message. Kofi squeezed Bimma's hand, and she felt the calluses on his palm from honest work. They matched her own now. "What are you thinking about?" he asked. "I'm thinking that I spent so much of my life wanting to be special, to stand out, to be noticed. I thought those red shoes would make me someone important. But they almost made me nothing at all. Now I know that the most important thing is not to be noticed, but to be loved. Not to stand out, but to stand beside. Not to dance alone in red shoes, but to walk together in whatever shoes we have, even if those shoes are worn and simple." Kofi stopped walking and turned to face her under the stars. "You are wise beyond your years, Bimma. The girl who found those shoes at the crossroads is gone. The woman standing before me is someone far more beautiful, someone who chose to become beautiful on the inside, where it truly matters." They stood there, 2 young people at the beginning of their life together, their futures unwritten, but full of promise. Somewhere in the realm of spirits, a pair of red shoes lay at the bottom of a cliff, their curse finally broken, their dance finally ended. The tale would be told for generations to stubborn children, to proud young people, to anyone who had forgotten that true beauty is not in what we wear, but in who we are when everything else is stripped away. The storytellers always ended with the same words. "Remember, young ones, the shoes that make you dance alone will always lead you to the cliff's edge. But the feet that choose to walk humbly will carry you home. Choose wisely what you put on your feet, but more importantly, choose wisely where you let those feet take you." This story has been passed down through generations, a reminder that our ancestors watch over us always, that pride comes before a fall, and that the greatest gift we can give those who love us is a humble, grateful heart. May we all learn from Bimma's journey. May we all have the courage to take off our red shoes before they dance us to destruction. And may we all find someone like Mama Kimi, whose love never wavers even when we give them every reason to turn away. Bimma and Kofi lived long lives together, raising children who heard this story many times. They taught their children that true worth doesn't come from what we wear or own, but from who we choose to become when no one is forcing us to dance. The scars on Bimma's feet remained throughout her life, and she never hid them. They were her testament, her truth, her transformation made visible. And whenever she saw young girls preening in beautiful clothes, or coveting things beyond their reach, she would sit them down and tell them about a pair of red shoes that once made a stubborn girl dance for 3 days, and how those terrible days taught her to walk humbly for the rest of her life. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories, everyone. Walk humbly. Love generously. Dance only when your heart is light and your feet are free. The end.